with him, here's the thing. When the trailer first came out, I was hyped up. It's unusual to see a mix of sports and horror. That's the honest truth. It's very rare. It's not even a genre because there's only this movie, really. Like, it's very hard to find a mix of that. And the trailer initially looked like a fun mix of horror. You could talk about CTE, concussions, all this stuff. Looked good in the trailer. And I like Marlon Wayans, and I was excited to see it. Prior to seeing it, because we saw it probably either opening weekend or the second weekend it came out, I believe.
Him?
Might have been, was it opening weekend?
We saw opening weekend. It was still playing at that Big Show theater.
So normally I don't do this, but unfortunately I let the excitement get a hold of me, and I read reviews before going to see it. And the reviews were terrible. They were telling me, and we'd already bought the tickets, but they were telling me, I think, that this is one of the worst movies of all time, apparently. And I was like, what the hell?
So
How could the trailer look so good and this be the worst movie of all time?
So you're telling me the movie is not the GOAT?
It's not the GOAT. No, well, they were telling me it wasn't the GOAT. The reviews were saying, stop. Do not go. Do not collect $200. Do not enter into the movie theater. But I don't like to go with majority thoughts. Sometimes they're right. When they say Screamboat is terrible, they're probably right. But in the case of him, I wanted to believe that maybe our money would not go into a disappearing, wanting a refund. What the hell did I just watch? I was hoping that maybe there would be some value, some unseen, some treasure in this movie that only me and Nick Arcano would discover, since apparently the rest of the world hate this movie. And I'm happy to report this movie, no matter what all they say, and it's mostly the general public, because if you actually go onto, let's say, the horror Reddit or horror communities, horror fans actually don't hate this movie.
Nope.
The general public hates this movie. But within the horror community, most people come away how I feel, which is, meh, it's not terrible. It's not as good as I would have liked, but it's not terrible.
You know what? I know why the general public hates this movie. Okay, it's because they were expecting at least one football game this whole movie. They were like, yes, this is our fix while we're waiting for the next football match, while we're waiting for the Super Bowl. Let's go watch some football.
Right.
And all they get is pretty much a 45-minute training montage. And then they're just unhappy because they didn't see Marlon Wayans like clothesline Cam.
The trailer was deceptive because I also they showed a football stadium and like a game going on, so I thought this is gonna be like during the football season, actual team active thing going, but it is just all at Marlon's house as he's training Cam. It's a much smaller story than the trailer makes you think it's a bigger story. It's a small story. It's an intimate story about, the mentor passing on not only advice for life, advice for football, and also demon blood.
Demon blood.
That's where this movie really takes a turn, because there's a whole mysterious element to it. You'd think it's just a mentor, mentee passing on to the next generation, but he's passing something on, but it's not just his football skills.
I also have a question, because usually, unless Marlon's blood is like an O neg,
yeah,
or Tyreek's blood is O positive,
right?
Pretty sure they should not be mixing blood unless they know they're the same blood type.
So there's a doctor on the scene, and I'm assuming he's done the necessary research on this.
I don't think he did the research. He's drunk half the time.
Does demon blood transcend our stupid human blood types? I mean, the demon's like, look, just take the damn blood, all right?
Right.
You can't go back to demon and be like, this doesn't quite. Just take the damn blood, got it.
Well, that makes me wonder. Is this demon part vampire?
No.
No. Okay.
No, let's not. We can't do it. We can't. The story's already stupid. We can't make it dumber even now by introducing vampire blood.
Vampire demon blood. Demon vampires.
Oh, my head already hurts. So
you're welcome.
Okay. The star here is we'll start with Cam, played by Tyreek something.
Withers, I think it was.
Withers. Now
we saw him in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Very interesting, because maybe you've seen, we just ranted recently about how much we hated, despised, wanted to erase from our memories.
I already did.
Seeing I Know What You Did Last Summer in theaters. On the rewatch, though, we gave props to one of the girls in the movie, and also I thought Tyreek did a pretty good job in the movie. That said, seeing that first, then him, you're like, man, I still hope he does better here than he did in I Know, and he did. Completely different character, different personality. Really just playing generic good guy role, though, to be honest.
Well, you ready?
It's not much to it. But.
Ready to hear some plot twist? He actually filmed this movie before he filmed I Know What You Did Last Summer.
See, the only reason I didn't expect that was because I felt like it seemed like he would have done that, and then it's like he got in shape for him, and then filmed him.
Well, he was still in shape for I Know as well. He was just bigger in that role.
Okay.
That, or maybe he was just wearing extremely baggy clothes that made him look bigger. But you can even see it in his face. His face was more plumped up.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a conscious decision because he thought, well, to be fair, his character and I Know at the beginning probably should be in shape, but then he's like just drinking his life away by the aftermath. So maybe that he got out of shape at that point. So character-wise, it may make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah, because I assumed it was he did I Know, lost weight, is now doing him, but it looks like he actually finished off on him and immediately went to I Know. Because when him finished, it was November of 2024.
yeah.
When I Know started filming, it was October of 2024.
Wow. Okay. And so filming those back to back again. It's it says a lot about him as an actor because again, I think I said this before, but basically, he's playing Barry and I Know. He's playing Ray here and him. You're getting generic good guy and sort of asshole jock.
I wouldn't say he's playing Ray in this one because
More just the generic good guy sentiment. Not,
Okay.
He's not obviously Ray's
I'm
not
about to say, 'cause-
throwing a football, but
well, and also Ray's a little bitch.
well.
He let Barry put his hands on. Can we get away from I Know What You Did Last Summer, please?
It's only because the actor's making us think about it. I agree. Let's never mention that again. Okay. He does a good job here, and no matter what we say about the movie, I do hope the actor Tyreek gets more opportunities to do more movies because he's a solid actor.
Yes.
But the movie didn't make any money in the box office. But if there was some intrigue, it's probably the idea of Marlon Wayans playing a villain because we mostly know him from like comedies and doing goofy stuff, like the new Scary Movie coming out. So something interesting about him playing a villain. And that was some part of the appeal for me, too. I was like, oh, football, Marlon playing a villain. I want to see this in theaters.
And Marlon having to lose like 25 to 50 pounds just to get in shape for this role.
Yeah, I mean, Marlon being like, what, he said he's 51?
51 when he filmed this.
And most NFL quarterbacks, I mean, they play till 35, maybe 40.
Probably
Tom Brady made it to 46, actually, which
Yeah,
is
I
crazy.
think usually until their body gets to the point where if they continue playing, they're just going to screw their bodies up.
Well, there was a funny story about Marlon. He said that he was doing all this like actual football practice. He was like throwing footballs. He went to basically hang out with a NFL quarterback and like learn how to do everything he could. But when he showed up on set, said he threw a football, and the director was like, you know, we're gonna have somebody like stand in and do all your throwing scenes, right? Like you're not gonna do actually any throwing of a football. He's like, what? It's like I've been training for this. He's like, yeah, we're happy you're in shape, but yeah, we got someone who looks like you over there to throw the football. So he didn't actually have to do much actual football stuff because they had already prepared for the idea that he wasn't gonna be able to do it, even though he, I guess, quietly had been training to be like actually like a
Well,
quarterback.
heck, that's when he just comes on set and be like, no, I'm doing it. I trained for it. Y'all can kiss my butt.
No, he was happy. He was like, oh, I ain't got to do it. All right.
Never mind.
He's like, I can just worry about the acting then. So that was part of the appeal. That part of the movie delivers. Again, the acting is strong with both Marlon and Cam. Tyreek and Marlon both have strong performances, I feel like.
Julia Fox was fine for Zay's wife, but
It's fine.
she seemed a little off to me. Like, what is her role in this whole thing?
We don't know.
Just as a sex appeal for Cam to join their little football demon cult?
She has a bigger role in the cult than we originally think, so it begs the question, like, did her and Marlon ever actually have a real marriage? Did they actually fall in love, or it was literally just he signed the contract and she's there to watch over him?
I want to say probably a little bit of both because
she definitely, if you're signing Marlon up for the deal and you're the cult, whoever, or the demon, whoever it is, you want somebody in his day-to-day life
right
to really be monitoring, like, oh.
Make sure he's not about to go double rogue on him. But actually, I do think she does have a form of care for him because there is a very quick scene at the very beginning of Marlon with, I think it was supposed to be his 8th win or whatever. and she's kneeling down. Looks like she's actually trying to comfort him because he's not in the best mindset.
Maybe, but the thing is, at the end, when Cam comes out at the end, she has to assume, oh, he must have killed
Marlon.
and she's just like, all right, I'm sign the contract. So she doesn't really
Does
seem
that mean
by it.
Cam? She's going to be Cam's wife next?
I-
Fuck Jasmine.
I don't think Cam would be going for that. But to be fair, they probably would be like, okay, part of the contract is somebody in your day-to-day life has to be monitoring you pretty much. So maybe they just get Jasmine to sell out also. So you got to talk her into it as well.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be talking her into doing much. She seemed to care more about Cam's well-being than actually him playing football. Same with the mom. I think the brother was the only one out of his living family trying to push him into doing everything that is needed.
Yeah, and I think the acting is all solid. My bigger point is that the movie is let down by two things. The script, although apparently there was a different original script that got changed here a little bit. So I don't know if the original script is better. If I can find it online, maybe worth reading the original script to see if it's better than what we got here. The script and on the rewatch,
The ending. Well, really,
the directing also is doing like
a lot of weird stuff. It's
overly stylized, like trying to do too much music video feel-ish.
well, also the X-ray stuff. I think I read that they got that idea from the Mortal Kombat games.
I was okay with that, but there is like a lot of weird stuff directing wise. A lot of the movie's like really focusing on visual imagery. A lot of like crosses, a lot of Jesus symbolism. There's a lot of things going on here.
The pentagram at the end.
But and it's like, okay, you're doing so much damn symbolism and visual imagery. I just want you to explain the story. Just calm the camera down, stop with all your cuts,
Nah.
and just like tell me what the hell is going on.
Well-
and I think that's somewhat the directing, but it's the script as well. The script lets this movie down.
What you want to hear the problem about that is, we then don't get the scene where our white guy who randomly shows up to help Cam get better at football. We don't get to see him just get pelted with footballs for 2 minutes straight.
Well, I mean, listen, I never ever say this about any movie ever, because I hate long movies. This movie being an hour and a half is a travesty. You can't have this story, and not like that, but the first 19 minutes are a drag. Too much time spent with Cam. It's about 19 minutes before he arrives at Zay's house.
But we need to see him get
No, we
whopped.
don't. No, we don't.
Even though I believe that you don't even need him getting hurt to go to meet Zay. I feel like if Zay called him and said, hey, I want to train you, will you come to my place? I guarantee you Cam would have jumped on that.
At the end, they say we did it in order to isolate you, but yeah, I don't understand. First of all,
His family was around him 24/7 after that.
by the way, why would you do anything to like this dude that you're grooming to be the next? Why would you take any chance with any kind of injury?
Especially with the fact that he did almost die, from what I understand.
What if you hit him too hard and like you cause brain damage or something? Like who knows? Like that seems like that's the golden goose. You don't want to play with the golden goose by injuring him that way. So that was stupid.
There's other ways to isolate him without having to injure him.
Yeah. I'm on board with the idea of just the movie opens with him on the car ride over to Zay's house. And in the car, you're just showing like a little montage or flashbacks to where you, within 5 minutes, you catch the audience up to speed about, hey, this is where it's at. And then just, he's at Zay's house and like 10 minutes in, now we can go fully on board. 19 minutes of just like, in hindsight, when you're watching, like, this is all just kind of filler. Like, we don't really learn anything. It's stupid.
But we get to find out he has a soon-to-be wife. He has a mom. He has a brother.
Oh my God. Oh.
Also, I'm sorry. I know it's probably because I'm old now. You know, I'm ancient at this point in my life.
Listen, 50 is not old, all right? Beat the easy on
But
yourself, all right?
the question I got is, why do people like the acronym GOAT?
We're all over the place with the review so far, but I don't want to go scene by scene because it's stupid. But no,
Well, hold up.
that's-
Hold up. We already talked about the one scene. You know, Cam's got 2 seconds, throw the football, or white guy gets pelted in the face with footballs.
What a great scene.
Right. That was actually the one that's supposed to be the very first like tense scene that should have woken Cam up to, maybe I shouldn't do this.
Once you get past the filler, once we get to basically the football part of the movie, which in hindsight now, I'm like, man, like, there's a fun movie here when you take out all the demon cult stuff and just have it be like, Marlon's character is like kind of psychotic in terms of how he's training him. And he does do like a lot of crazy stuff, but just self-contained with his character and not all this crazy other stuff going on. Because the training scenes are all fantastic. Even if you're not a football fan, they let you in softly so you understand what's going on. And you can be a non-football fan and enjoy the middle part of the movie. And there's enough character stuff going on, and there's a mystery there. The middle of the part of the movie is solid. And the middle part of the movie is actually probably only about 45. The movie's so short, it's probably like 45 minutes. Mm. It's just the beginning, the end, the wraparounds.
Yeah,
destroy the movie.
Yeah, the end for me, unless there's any other character or scene you wanted to talk about, the ending is going to be where we probably discuss a little bit more of what the hell is going on, or at least our theories about what is going on.
Okay.
Unless you want to mention why Zay's wife wants to screw everybody in this damn movie. It could just be the way her character's written, but her character seems to be a entrepreneur of a few things.
I think a part of the this training process is to train him physically, but then also part of it is, I guess, to corrupt Cam's mind by like making him try to cheat on his girlfriend.
I mean, it almost happens, to be fair.
It probably does. We don't see it, so they cut away. So
well, no, he did.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because Zay catches a man holding the gun up to him and is like,
oh yeah, Zay doesn't take it personally.
Well, I mean, his wife was part of that.
That's what I understand. But then I'm like, maybe Zay and his wife have a different thing where like Zay is actually like treating it like a real marriage. Maybe she is too, but she's also treating like, well, this is like a job type thing. I don't know.
Like I said, it depends on we don't know how long those two were actually together. Maybe they were together before he becomes the GOAT. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you know, the way they treat each other, it just feels more like a business relationship than an actual marriage. You never see them actually touch, kiss, hug, anything. You don't even see them give goo-goo eyes.
If it's a business thing, she's getting paid by the demon.
She gets paid by the company.
And well, I guess she does get to live a nice, rich lifestyle. So.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's why I'm wondering if Cam had taken the deal, would she have now been Cam's wife? Something tells me she probably doesn't age much either.
Absolutely not. They would have found somebody, because just from an appearance standpoint, Cam is probably, 30 years younger than... I mean, in the movie, Cam is probably 20 to 30 years younger than her.
I think it would be in the more 20 range. If we go off of, say, what the actress's age is, who she's in her 40s.
They'd probably find somebody who age-wise lines up just so they...
Well, you got Jasmine.
Yeah, but then you'd have to convince Jasmine to get on board with whatever's going on there, so...
Manipulator. It's fine.
Look,
give her demon blood and demon can possess her like you want it so much.
Look, where the movie goes off the rails for me is just when Cam first goes to this like weird underground party thing, which is I guess in the demon timeline, I'm calling it the demon timeline, whatever timeline, it's like, okay, you train him for a week, we bring him to the party. At the party, gonna chop off the one dude's head as the
sacrifice.
The sacrifice.
Which there is a deleted scene showing Zay's wife Elise. I've been saying Zay's wife, her name's Elise. Mm-hmm. Of Elise actually killing him and doing that. There was a whole deleted scene of her killing him, and then Cam, I think he was lost. He was trying to find the bathroom, just walks in there.
What a thankless job for the doctor, who's there the entire movie and then has to suffer that fate. That actor did a good job, actually. The doctor, I gotta give him props to.
It makes you wonder: is that what they do to all the doctors? I'm assuming it's because they have to get rid of the least important person of the whole ritual in order to do the sacrifice.
Not that, but they don't want him probably.
I mean, he did try to warn Cam multiple times.
He has all the evidence to basically implement everything too, so I might as well get rid of the evidence. Okay, demon timeline. Train for a week, you go to the party.
Yes.
You're trying to get some kind of informal agreement here. Basically, he's not going to sign the contract here.
Right.
But you're kind of bringing him on board, and when you bring him on board, something happens at the party where they cut to Zay being like activated, like, oh shit, it's time to fight. And now Zay's going to train hard as hell that day.
Yes.
the way the party's filmed is so vague and weird. It shows Cam sort of having a good time or something, but
And then puking out diamonds.
and they do say something to where like, but it's not clearly stated, and we don't see him really agree to it. So the party scene is completely stupid, and it throws the movie down a weird track now because nothing else makes sense. If the party had been a little more better explained about what's going on, like maybe they explain it to Cam, and then Cam says no, or let me think about it, something, or he's confused, so then he goes talks to Zay, and now Zay's just like basically, hey, you're in this room now, the door's behind you, fight to the death, something. But when Cam shows up, I don't know what his intention is when he shows up to the thing with Zay. Like, I don't know what he's thinking. I have no idea what's going on in his head. And for your main character, you should have a general idea of what's going on in the main character's head a little bit. Do you have any idea what's going through his head when he shows up there? I have no idea what's going on.
Apparently, what's going through his head was to attack Zay immediately. I guess he's getting tired of Zay getting in his face the entire movie.
But before that scene, they're on perfectly good terms.
Exactly. So what I think it is because he also, I'm pretty sure right before that we see him obviously inject himself with more of that blood. And when he finally comes to, I'm assuming the blood is some form of influence. Like the blood is kind of controlling him. That's the only thing I can think of why Cam just no reason attacks Zay.
Right.
Because you're right. It makes no sense. They're on good terms. They're being extremely friendly. And on Zay's point, Zay's been trying to tell him this is some fucked up shit. You should get out of here.
Right.
The whole movie. But at the same time, it just seems like there's something in the blood.
Mm-hmm.
Demons.
I mean, look, I don't know. Okay, let's talk about the fight and what Zay says. Zay says basically, hey, rules are simple. One person's trying to leave the room, another person's trying to stop him from leaving the room.
There can only be one.
Which to me means not death. It means that you have to knock me unconscious, then you can leave the room. So.
No, to me that means death.
Now, me and Nick have talked this extensively, so we're not going to bring it on the podcast because we both have our own theories. I think if it's death, then the script does a bad job of just not saying we fight to the death. Just make it very simple.
I mean, it can be construed either way, but at the same time, whenever I hear, because plenty of movies also do it, where they just say there can only be one, more often than not, that person, one of them is going to be dead.
There can only be one who can play football.
There's at least a whole team of 10. Zay can jump in somewhere.
You don't have to die to not be able to play football. You can just be injured very badly. That's all I'm saying. Okay, anyways, let's talk about the fight scene. You want me to believe that Zay's had the demon blood coming into him for 20, 30 years.
20 years.
We showed a montage of him training all day as hard as possible.
Yes.
He knows the room he's in perfectly.
Yes.
How the hell does he lose this fight? What? If you were going in and someone explained, okay, been doing it for 20 years, been thinking about this all week, trained hard all day, and they're like, okay, who are you betting money on? Would anybody be like, I got Cam?
Two reasons. One, Zay's still an old man now. His bones are brittle. His bones are very brittle. Okay?
Oh, come on.
He's not as flexible as he used to be.
Oh, come on. Get out of here.
And two, Cam just got a hold of that helmet really damn easily.
What a cop out ending. You're gonna have Zay break his arm.
Yes.
Now it's immediately okay. They both stand up. Now it's Zay versus one armed man.
Yes.
The odds even more so in Zay's favor now.
And Zay has a sharp, pointy thing.
So one arm is basically useless.
Yes.
But his other arm, he's gonna grab the helmet.
Yes.
And Zay, I think, actually sees him grab the helmet.
Yes.
And
he should have.
And says,
Cam's not a big guy.
And says, what can I do here? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a running dive. I'm gonna dive in slow motion at him.
So my theory is Zay wanted to die.
Come on. Is that what he's doing? He's breaking his arm? Come on.
Well, he needs to make it look good. Otherwise, the demon apparently is going to blow him up.
I don't think he wanted that. I think as we've been saying, the writing is super bad here. I would have actually preferred Cam to just dominate the fight. Just have like Zay have underestimated him and Cam is like a monster. But don't do this where Zay dominates the fight and then the last minute bailout is the helmet.
Then you know what we would have done if Cam dominated the fight, right? When we get to our Coliseum scene, No, we never really we didn't exactly point out the fact that there is a big Colosseum kind of thing going on, like the old school Romans used to do in the Colosseum, with all the fighting and all that.
Mm-hmm.
They mention it multiple times throughout this movie.
I
Of
again,
Colosseum gladiators.
again, because they don't get in Cam's head inside of his head enough by the end that by the end I still don't even buy him.
Killing everybody.
Forget the master. I don't even buy him killing Zay.
But
I imagine he knocks Zay out and then says, I don't want nothing to do with this," and walks out the room. I don't imagine him even like fiercely killing Zay, even like in the moment. So I don't know.
But the way I see it is, if he dominated against Zay and not even walked out with a scratch, he would have then had to fight Malik, who's the guy who whacked him upside the head with a hammer.
Sure.
And what's going on there? Because Malik's definitely a lot bigger than both of them.
All right, so the fight with Zay is stupid. Now let's talk about him coming onto the field. Now you're telling me that this group
Of old people.
who have been playing this whole thing,
Yes. For years, apparently.
their expectation is for him to walk out there and just be like, "My new family, my family," and then
Yes.
just sign the contract.
Yes, he was supposed to be Dominic Toretto. In fact, if they make a prequel,
They had a 6-pack of Corona on standby. As soon as he signs the contract, we're breaking up with the Corona family.
in fact, I guarantee you, if he ends up in a Fast and Furious movie, it will be a prequel where he plays Dominic Toretto.
That's why this ending makes no sense, because they're talking about a guy who they haven't gotten on board.
Yes.
So
But because he either killed Zay or they at least believe they killed Zay, it's like, oh, well, you've already done something illegal. You might as well join us and we can keep you away from that.
but they're not even like saying you might as well. They're just like they're
Sign it.
acting like it's a done deal. They're like, "Welcome. You love us, we love you." I'm like, there's nothing that you've seen from him that makes you think that he's going to actually do this. And when he does turn on them, there's no backup plan. Somebody should have a gun and be like, "Okay, this didn't work," and shoot him in the head.
Well, I mean,
What?
Malik did try to stab him, which he somehow interpreted and used the hammer to just wail on him.
Once they expose, like, and this was a very bad move. They're like trying to convince him by telling him like, "Hey, your father set this up."
Hey, we're going to kill your family, kid.
This is a bad, and you can say all that, but then someone has to have a gun. You can't just be like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna do this unless you decide to kill us all, and then we're doomed." There was no backup plan. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna massacre all you, and I'm gonna walk out of here." This is the dumbest bullshit Hollywood ending I've ever seen in my life. It's out of character. It's goofy.
You know what?
It's stupid. It's John Wick.
You know what I know now? You have convinced me. Zay is alive, and Cam is using Zay as a scapegoat. Zay killed everybody. And Cam beat the crap out of Zay to get out of there alive.
Well, there's got to be something, because how does Cam explain this? You left a field of bodies on the field.
I will.
The entire team is dead.
I'm going to mention something. Elise falling on her own knife and dying was just hilarious to me. Especially since it seemed like she was reaching out to Cam's like, "Help me." Like, bitch, you were going to kill him.
It was, but it literally feels like whoever wrote the ending didn't write the rest of the movie. It literally feels like this is like a different ending for a different movie.
You know what I
Because
think?
even that thing that's like is goofy in a way that really doesn't fit this movie.
You know what? A 14-year-old wrote this ending. So he won a contest, right? But instead of directing a scene and having Tyreek saying, "What are you waiting for?" It's instead he wins a contest and writes a scene. And that's where we get, and he just watched John Wick right after.
Now, he massacres almost all of them. One is left to
Explode by demon powers.
Now listen, I've had this conversation before recording with Nick, and I just want to say this. Any ending where the answer is,
Demons.
if you've seen Supernatural, you would know.
Whoa.
Anytime
I did not say that word out loud.
Anytime that is the explanation of the ending, like, "Oh, if you've seen Supernatural, you know." That is the wrong ending to a movie.
First off, I did not say that.
You guys collectively said that, all right?
No, I did not say that. I didn't even bring Supernatural up until she said it.
You cited the CrossFit demon.
Crossroads demon, and that's way before Supernatural.
Look, audience.
All you have to do is go on the internet and type in Crossroad.
Well, how would you even know to Google Crossroad? Again, you should explain it in the movie, as I'm saying.
Easy. You want to know how you know people, why people would Google Crossroads deal?
Yeah.
Because we're bored as shit in school. That's when I actually wrote
This movie wants me to believe that
demons.
the demon is like, well, you guys messed up, so you're going to explode.
You've never seen Ready or Not, have you?
Ready or not?
Yes.
Oh,
With Samara Weaving.
maybe. But I always confuse that with You're Next for some reason.
Yeah, you haven't seen it. Because, believe it or not, ending, and actually now I think about it, I need to check out the writers.
Any movie where you have to be like, if you saw Ready or Not, you don't understand. That's not how movies work. You shouldn't have to have seen some other movie to know what this
Well,
works.
no, the reason I bring that up is because technically, yes, has the exact same ending. However, the reason why I need to check out the writers is just because the ending is so similar. You know, at the end of Ready or Not, spoiler alert, and yes, I'm spoiling for you because you should have seen it by now. Ready or Not 2 is coming out. She survived the night of hide and seek, and when the family fails, the demon blows them all up, except for Samara Weaving. But granted, I guess technically it's better in that one because it was established that if they did not finish it, the demon is going to screw them over. So technically in that one it's established, but yeah, I need to check out the writers now because it seems like the exact same ending.
I think, I mean, for me, given that Zay was talking to him throughout the movie about, hey, you should take a different path. You should do something different than me. I don't want you to take the same path as me. It leads me to believe that Zay probably didn't want to have this fight at the end. And if you're setting that up, what I would have had is something where you show at the end. Now I'm going to describe something to you that probably going to be like, I mean, obviously I'm a writer, but this sounds like the most perfect, amazing ending of all time. I have to say, before I'm going to say it.
Midget! Can you grab the drinks, please?
What?
Can you grab the drinks, please? Okay, what were you saying?
This is the ending I would do. Okay. Given everything we have so far, right? We have Zay jump into the helmet punch stupidly. Punched with the helmet, right? You cut to Cam raising the helmet to give a death blow, right? But then he slowly stops. Lowers the helmet. Now we cut to, just from there, we cut to the team on the field. But now both Cam and Zay walk out. And they together massacre everybody. That, you put two together, I was like, oh, okay, Cam lowered the helmet and said, I'm not going to kill you, but let's do this. If you want to be cheesy, the helmet lowers and the hand reaches out, and then you cut to the field. Now you have the actual feel-good happy ending. And then you cut to Zay saying he's announcing his retirement and that Cam's going to take over as quarterback. Now you got the better ending. If you want to go the stupid happy ending route. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That, I guarantee you the crowd is cheering their ass off at that ending. Zay like stabbing someone and be like, I never liked your ass anyways. Now you got a great ending. That, or give us the alternate ending, which is on YouTube, which I still think is better. At least there's something interesting about the idea of him actually selling out. The ending we got makes no sense and doesn't to me doesn't feel anything.
So my version of the ending, okay. And Vic still thinks it's stupid, but for me, watching a football horror movie, thinks there should be some football in this damn movie. Not just the training scenes, but I'm literally saying the climax between Zay and Cam is a football game. Cam and Zay pick their teams.
Oh God!
And have a football ending. You're thinking that's goofier than what we fucking got.
The reason why it doesn't work, and I was talking about this with you earlier also as well, is that of all the sports they could have done like a player selling his soul storyline, football is almost the worst sport to do that in because there's 55 players on a team. There's all these moving parts. Even the best demon blood infused quarterback is probably going to have about a 25% impact on the game. So Zay winning those seven championships is not a guarantee unless he has a good defense, good receivers, good coach. So many moving parts. This movie should have been a basketball movie where one player being that powerful can actually impact the game and change everything.
You know what? what we don't see what's going on with the rest of the team. For all we know, the whole team is infused with demon bullshit. Okay, so they all are going through their own
be honest.
things.
That's a reach. Come on, that's a reach.
Think about how many people are about to explode.
If they were all infused, then Zay would have 20 championships. Actually, they would never lose a game.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Zay's probably still had to take years off because football is a pretty, physically demanding sport. I guarantee you still got to take at least a year or two between each win, I would assume.
Football doesn't lend itself to some kind of one-on-one battle at the end. Other
I didn't
sports,
say one-on-one. They still have a team.
yeah, but then it doesn't work.
They have leadership. They literally have a whole day classified as leadership while watching Cam just get pulverized.
It's still too many moving parts. It just doesn't work. If it was like UFC, MMA, perfect. Fight to the death works because it's MMA. Golf, yes. Happy Gilmore.
Demon Golf.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore's.
Demon Gilmore.
Well, let's face it. Happy wouldn't be the one. Happy would be the one facing off against the demon. It would be like the demon came to Georgia, but for golf instead of a fiddle.
Basketball, you can have a one-on-one game. Table tennis, one-on-one.
Table tennis.
Football is the one where you
We already had a table tennis one. It was called Balls of Fury.
I didn't see that.
I wish I didn't.
Anyways, my final thoughts. Great middle. Great performance by Marlon. Tyreek was pretty good. But, man, this movie needs to be 2.5 hours long. I don't know why they were like, man, let's do a 90-minute music video here. Montages, quick cuts, all this visual imagery with a shit script. Why would you do this to us?
No, you know what? You're going to wish you didn't say that because watch James Cameron somehow get the rights to the sequel and actually make a 2.5 hour long freaking movie.
Oh, it'll be much better.
Or Quentin Tarantino getting a hold of it and doing a 4.5 hour long movie.
Well, he'll break into volume 1, volume 2 though. So
Well, until what, 17 years later when he mashes them all together?
the whole bloody affair. Okay, well, anyways, I do like the movie overall. No, Will, I'm gonna preface. I like the middle part of the movie, but it's one of those. Maybe it'll be like it'll come to like be a represent. I like it, but I don't understand this shit. I don't know. There's so much potential here to be a good movie.
It's because you don't know demon lore.
You have the
Mister, you think you need to be possessed for a demon to actually show up. You don't need possession for demons.
you need freaking doctors and blood transfusions. Yeah,
exactly.
Sure. This is the stupidest demon of all time. All right,
and it's not even the demon. It's literally people. The demon's just there to give them the deal correctly.
Oh my god, whatever. These people are stupid then too, all right?
And most likely the old man had to kiss some burly-looking lumberjack.
You don't need demons at the end. You need someone who has to have a shotgun to take out Cam when he goes against the group. So, anyways.
Something tells me they'll all probably still explode.
Let us know in the comments what you think about him. Let us know your thoughts on the Super Bowl. Unlike Nick, do you actually know who's in the Super Bowl? Will you watch the game? At least watch the commercials.
You know what? I do know who's in the Super Bowl. Redskins and Green Bay Packers. Just so we can continue having that fucking rivalry.
There's no negative Commandos. It's a great Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. That's all you think of when you think of Commandos. So.
Terrorists. The Dallas terrorists.
All right. Until next time, you guys take care.
Peace.
Let me